Welcome back from Thanksgiving break. I hope you all had a wonderful time with friends and family. And we're on to learning unit number 14. And first of all, please note that this is the last new content of this course. And learning unit number 14 is a shortened week because you have days off to prepare for your final exams. So I am going to go over the content for learning unit number 14. Again, new content, but shortened week. I'm going to ask that you please do the course evaluations, the student satisfaction survey, whatever you may call it. So that I can get your feedback on how to improve this course for next time it's offered. And I would like to. I'm always looking for ways to do to improve. So please take a few minutes to do that. I would so appreciate it. And then finally, I'm going to go over your final course reflection. And all of these three things will be available to you as soon as learning unit number 14 opens. So you'll be able to see all three of these things. And please note that along with the shortened week for learning unit 14, this is in lieu of a final exam. It's your final course reflection. So it is due the very last day of finals week, which is December 11th, which is a Thursday. I cannot accept any papers after this date. So please make sure you're watching this video and you write down and you're clear on the fact that this is the last day any assignments can be submitted, including the final course reflection. So let's look back at week 14. You're watching this video that's going to explain everything. The overview for this is the content is on environmental health. So that is concerned with all aspects of both the natural and built environment that impacts on human health. And according to the authors that I cited below, where we live, what we eat, and how we interact with the world around us can really tip the scales between whether or not we're healthy. For example, as you know, if you live in a neighborhood with unsafe sidewalks or polluted air, it's difficult to get outside and exercise. It may be unsafe to get outside and exercise. Similarly, what your home was built with, and especially with lead paint is an example, what insects live nearby and what food you have access to can all impact on your health and the health of your family. So we're going to have a look at things in two different ways in this unit, but in this shortened week, we're going to focus on three issues that have the largest impact on the global burden of disease in low and middle income countries. And that's unsafe water, sanitation and hygiene, which we call WASH, ambient particulate air pollution. Ambient is outdoor air pollution and also household air pollution. Now, this is going to be the last content that we cover in this course. Here is the reference, and it's essential that you really do the readings to do your very best on this final learning unit. So you're reading chapter 8 of Skolnick. It's the chapter on environmental health. Specifically, you're looking at page 190, and that starts with the importance of environmental health, and you're reading through the information on sanitation, which is page 206. You're also reading pages 213 to 214, and that topic is climate change and health. So 190 through page 206, I give you this information so that you know if you're using the ebook, and pages 213 through 214. So that's the required readings. You're going to need to read this information and this article about air pollution prior to taking the quiz. The quiz has 8 multiple choice or true-false questions and then one short essay question. But again, it all stems from your readings. It's not timed, but you do need to complete it in one sitting. So then your discussion board 14 is after reading the information that I already just told you, the pages, etc., in that chapter of Skolnick in the article on deaths from pollution, please share how a toxic environment impacts our health and the health of those we serve, especially those most vulnerable. And also think of it globally, because this is a global health course. So no reply is required, and then you are submitting your global health issues paper, and you'll do that in the assignment tab. You're going to go back to the assignment tab to do that. And then here's your course evaluation. As I've already showed you, I just ask that you complete that. It will really take just a few minutes of your time, but you can provide me with so much good feedback. And then the final course reflection, again, this is due December 11th, which is a Thursday. And what you're going to do is reflect on the student learning outcomes for this course and then submit your paper. So let's look at it a little bit more than that. For this assignment, which is worth 50 points, you will upload a Word document of 2 pages or less to the link. So we have 5 course outcomes. So at the end of this course, you are expected to be able to do 5 things, right? You're going to be able to examine the determinants of health, health status, and life expectancy. You can read through each one of these 5 learning outcomes. And what you're reflecting on is how you have been able to achieve each of these 5 outcomes. And you're going to share that with me. How I know then that you're able to achieve each of these 5 outcomes. And you're going to do that by looking at your learning units. So here's the easiest way. I gave you an example. So you're going to write number 1 through 5, right? And those are your student learning outcomes for this course. Now, you don't have to write in what each one is, but if that helps you, go for it. So you write number 1 through 5. And then go one at a time, based on the learning outcome, look through your learning unit content tabs. So look through what did you do in learning unit 1, 2, 3, and then the 2 course assignments that you had to review ways in which those assignments helped you to meet these outcomes. So, for example, in comparing healthcare systems, which is number 5, compare healthcare systems, policies, and care delivery models from around the world, you can say that the discussion board posting that you completed for week number 7, after learning about universal health coverage in the UK and Switzerland, is the learning activity that best helped you meet this learning outcome. Maybe there's something else that you did in another learning unit. Maybe it was your global health issues paper. You tell me how you have met each of the 5 outcomes, each. So 1 through 5. 2 pages or less, so I'm not asking you to be really wordy, but that is your in lieu of your final exam, which I think you would probably prefer than sitting down for a final exam. Maybe I'm wrong. So that is your assignment, and this is where you can submit it. I have it separated out for this course. So this is where you're going to submit by December 11th, and I thank you for your work. I hope that you did enjoy this course and it gave you a different perspective, looking at it, at health from more of a global, through a global lens. So thank you, and I hope you have the best winter break and celebration of the end of this semester. And I do look forward to having some of you back in a course this spring. So take care.